Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You've reached PayDirt once again. I am your host, PayDirt, with your host, Pay Saunders. Pay, what's going on?
I can't call it, my boy. How you feeling?
Well, truth be told, a little under the weather, but I'll play through.
All right, man. Let's get your flu game. I feel it.
I'm hurt. I'm not injured. There's a difference.
Oh, okay.
Difference. There's a difference. So went through our bets the past couple weeks, and we kind of gone over a lot of the analysis throughout the week of a bunch of different things, but we're really whittling it down for everybody now to our pick six. It's going to be those six. Whether it's a parlay as we have it with you sharing your screen when you do that, or whether it's just six bets that you could play through the day however you want to play them. If you want to mix and match them, maybe you pull three out for a parlay, maybe you put them all together. But we're going to give you our pick six, and that's what we're going to keep track of throughout the year. Week 1, we went 4-2 with our pick six, and in week 2, kissed our sister 3-3. So, hey, listen. The first couple weeks, there's a lot of feeling out. You see a lot of different things. I know some of our predictions. I'm not going to say who was thinking the Carolina Panthers might turn the corner a little bit, but that happened. That happened. And they haven't yet. It's a long season. We got a red rifle sighting. You never know what's going to happen. Afton, the captain in the chat. We appreciate you stopping through, Afton, as always. But hey, man, we saw some good football. We saw some not good football. In the NFL, I saw some quarterbacks look like quarterbacks this past week. Not as many as we'd like to see, but we're starting to see the numbers pick up. I think it's really one of those things where they don't have preseason games. Man, you could really hammer the under the first couple weeks.
That's the point I was making in our first episode for this season. The under is really going to cash for the most part for the first month. I think there's been I will have to verify it and I'll let you know before the show ends. I think the over only hit 6 times so far in the first 2 weeks.
Wow. Yeah, I listen, the weather has changed here in Pittsburgh. The evenings are hoodie weather, but I have not yet pulled my hoodie out. The Barstool hoodie, it says life's too short to bet the under. I'm really ready for some offensive explosions out there. I'd like to wear that sweatshirt again soon. I'm tired of this stuff. College football still claims some upsets and some volatility and some teams looking pretty bad. I'm almost at the point where I'm betting against teams rather than on teams. It's an interesting way to look at it, but if it works, right? Yeah, you got to go for it. So we'll waste no more time. Yeah, whatever pays. That's correct. That should be a new tagline for you. Whatever pays. I've had mine. I don't know if anybody's seen it. I've had mine say something profound for the past 2 weeks until someone says something about it. No one said anything about it. So I just wanted to say something profound, okay? It's the only way I can think of it.
That's really deep, man. It's real deep.
All right, well, let's start off with some college football, man. You got something that sparks your interest over there?
As a fan of football, the first thing that jumped off the screen to me was Auburn and Arkansas. Auburn is a 3-point favorite at home. The total is 56. I think this is going to be an interesting game. Not necessarily for betting, not to that extent, but if you like good football, that's where you're going to find it on Saturday. I'll let you start with this one. Are you seeing anything out of this game that gets you excited?
Out of the game? Out of the Arkansas game? Is that what you're asking me?
Yes, out of this game, the Arkansas Auburn.
No, nothing jumps off the page. I think it's going to be a really, again, I think you're right. I think it's going to be a pretty tight game. I like the Arkansas coach seems to be kind of fun. So I don't know. I'm kind of leaning that way, but nothing jumps off the page with betting this game. You?
I kind of see this is week 4 for college football, so I think teams are starting to shape up into who they are. I kind of want to say for this game in the SEC title country, I kind of want to see the under 56 on this. But as I said, it's week 4 now. Teams are rounding into shape, and it's the SEC. It's close. It's close. If anything from this game, I will go under, but I'm going to officially not for the show. I'm not going to take it, but I would definitely encourage all to watch because this is going to be an entertaining game. If there was anything, I would probably go on to some of the player props, but this is going to be this is one that's a little bit too hairy for me, so I won't do anything official here. But check it out. I've looked it over for a little bit. Some things are pretty interesting with this one.
All right. I want to give a shout out to our boy Tim Lyons over here in the chat. Appreciate you dropping in. I'll be doing a show. I will be doing a show with him later this evening, 805 Road Through the Jungle. If anybody wants to come over there and watch me rip the Cincinnati Bengals for about 10 minutes before we get on with it.
Just 10?
Just 10. So I had one of the lines in college football that kind of jumped off the page at me. And it's hard to talk about, Pay. I'm going to be at the game.
Let me go ahead and scroll down to Michigan. Let me go and
3:30 game. We got the Trojans, the University of Southern California, coming in, giving 5.5 points. After I saw what Texas did, they announced that we are going to start Alex Orji at quarterback for the University of Michigan. I don't know that there's enough offensive firepower there. I think USC's defense has looked much better. I expect them to beat us by more than a touchdown. So I'm actually taking USC in this game. I will be rooting the entire time to be wrong. But green knows no color. Like any other. So I'm going to bet with my mind and not with my heart, and I will root with my heart. So I'm going to take the USC Trojans here, giving up 5.5.
Okay. I kind of agree with you, B. USC as the new team in the Big Ten, they look pretty impressive. I've got them. I've had them in a couple of slips already so far this season, and based that against what I saw out of Michigan against the Texas Longhorns, the former SEC, not former SEC, but yeah, they're the new SEC Texas Longhorns. Not very optimistic how they can play against these new teams. Moving into new conferences. USC, it looks a little bit more polished. And Michigan, this is more of a rebuild year for Michigan. Taking USC 5.5, I think that's a pretty good shot. I'm gonna ride that with you. I'm gonna throw that on the slip.
I tell you, I 5.5. I think USC, as well as anybody in college football this year, identified where they had holes that they needed to fill on defense. and went in that portal and got them. Like specific, like we need a linebacker, we need a corner, and went and got those players. And I think that's going to be more and more with the transfer portal and NIL, what you're going to have to do in order to compete year after year after year. There was a lot of Michigan had a lot of returning defensive players. They have a very good defense. They have returning tight ends, very good tight end room. They have a good running back room. They had all new offensive linemen, and they had some major question marks at quarterback with a freshman that's redshirting right now that they think is the future. Why they wouldn't gap that, bridge that gap by trying to bring somebody in the portal, I don't know. But they did not. They did not. I digress. My frustration is over now. Thank you. Rant end.
Anything else from this game?
Not from this one. I've just betting that one. Straight -5.5. What's your next Saturday game?
You don't like the under? The
under 44.
That jumped up
I'm staying away from that. Sorry, you jumped a little bit. But yeah, I'm staying away from the under 44.
Okay. That's not a bad shout. It's a little low. So it's a little scary. USC, I can see them putting up about 28 to 34 points themselves. So,
and then that garbage time TV, that garbage time TD while I'm sitting in traffic trying to get out. Come on, man. I ain't got time for that.
I hear that, man. I hear that. All right. So let's move on down. Let's talk about Kentucky and Ohio. Last week, I thought it was going to be a sure thing. Georgia versus Kentucky. The over on that game was supposed to be, what was it, 40, 45?
45, and they looked putrid.
The game was 13-12. Wow. I watched a little bit of that game. I came away with a little newfound respect for Kentucky. I thought they were supposed to be good, just a flash in the pan a couple of years ago. Maybe they still are good. So I seen them 20-point favorites against Ohio. I don't want to use the L word yet. I'm going to stop using that because I think I'm 1-2 so far this season using the L word. So I think Kentucky could get this 20. I at least think their defense can put Ohio to bed early. Not necessarily their offense, but their defense can do what they got to do. I like Kentucky to cover that 20.
So you're going to start calling it a high probability?
High probability. I have a feeling.
I stayed away from this one, not knowing enough about Ohio. And 13-12, yes, I did also peep in on some of that game because it would have been a nice week for me if that would have hit. And I'll tell you, man, I didn't see a lot of great football being played. The defenses were physical, yes, but the football just didn't look good to me. So because of that, I don't know what to think of, and I'm staying away from it. But I do have some not so great football that I am going to bet on.
Ooh, I want to hear this one.
Iowa, return of the under. Bring it to me. At Minnesota, 35.5. Minnesota looks putrid. I'm telling you, I think this is a 20-9 game.
Are you serious? 20-9, B?
20-9. That's what I'm calling.
All right, so 20-9. That's barely. That's playing. That's a dangerous game, B.
Touchdown.
The total is 35. Yeah, it's 35 for the total. So they went under on week 1. They went over week 2. What did they do for week 3?
They go over again?
I think they did. I think they did go over last week again. 35 is low. A lot of things can happen at 35. I don't want any parts of it. I need a little more data.
Well, they definitely went over 38-21 versus Troy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of this one, but I'm hoping for you. I'm hoping. My fingers are crossed for you, B.
I like it.
All right, so I'll go ahead and add that to the slip. Under 35.
Playing those probabilities again.
Hey, you got to. Hey, that's what this game is all about. What's more probable? What's more likely to happen?
Yeah. But what else you see out there on Saturday that piques interest?
All right, let's go back to the primetime games. So Miami last week, they made an ass out of me. I told you that I don't know if they're that good to beat Ball State. What are they called?
Testicle Tech.
There you go. I don't know if they're that good to beat them by 36. Not only did they beat them by 36, they almost beat them by 36 times 2. They didn't give up a touchdown. They beat them. What was the final score? I think 62-0. It
was bad.
Boy, did that escalate quickly. Shout out to Ron Burgundy. So, I am officially drinking the Kool-Aid. I am drinking Blue Hurricanes. Well, they don't wear blue, but back in the day, there was a drink called Blue Hurricanes. But I am drinking it. I've got Miami 16.5 going into South Florida, UCF, and handling their business. They're just going to destroy all the Florida teams this season and their reclamation project 2024. Project 2024 for Miami is destroying all the Florida teams. They already took care of University of Florida. They already took care of, what was it, FAMU? And now they got South Florida on the schedule? No, yeah. They got South Florida schedule now. Yeah. I like it. 16.5. I think that's, I'm not going to say the L word, but I think it's cake.
Cake. Tim Lyon wants to know if we're betting Notre Dame. I'm going to stay away from Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde this week, but you feel free if you'd like to.
All right. I got another one. While we're talking about Florida and cake, I'm going to add Miami to the slip. So we come back to that later when we discuss our pick 6. Speaking of Florida and cake, Florida State, they are cake. They're the new Iowa. How bad can this team be? I think they might go winless. No, in fact, Florida's on their schedule, right? They might tie that game. I don't know who will win that game, but Florida State is a 2.5-point favorite against California. Now that's a long flight for those kids. I get it. The California is undefeated. Am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I know you to be right.
All right.
That means I have no idea.
They are undefeated. Florida State hasn't shown any. I believe they're undefeated. If I'm unmistaken, go ahead, Stat Boy, check that out for me. I don't think California has lost a game yet. I know Florida State. The fighting. Well, they're not doing a lot of fighting, but the fighting Billy Norvell's. They have not come close to looking like they was going to win. They've lost horribly each time they went out this season. I don't think it ends this week. I got California. I would have upset.
I also had Cal plus 2.5.
Yeah. I mean, why not? Why not? These guys are Florida State. Just put another L in Billy and Mike Norvell's name. It fits. 0-3. Put another L in his name.
All right. We have Cal has beaten UC Davis, Auburn, and San Diego State.
I don't think it's fair to fade an undefeated team for a team that is winless. I don't care the stature of the university. Florida State, you got to prove it. And until you do, I am going to get some money off of you.
I'm also a big fan of the Cal Twitter account. Mm-hmm. They're out there trolling people, and I'm here for it.
I like a good troll.
So
not when they run for president, but I like a good troll.
Yeah. Fair assessment. Listen, I'm very interested in the Utah-Oklahoma State game. Haven't seen enough of them play to really get into that game. But that's number 12 at number 14 with a 2-point spread. I'm interested in that one. I'm interested in Nebraska's at home giving 8 points to Illinois. I'm interested in watching that game. But not interested in betting either one of those. Your thoughts on either one of those?
Now, the Nebraska Illinois is a very interesting game. I looked at it as well. Nebraska, remember I picked them when they played Colorado. I know Nebraska was going to destroy the Buffs. But Illinois, I think Illinois is pretty good this year. They're not playoff good, top 25 good, but they're not bad. If Nebraska is ready to be back to what Nebraska, the Cornhuskers, have always known, we've always known them to be, this is a game they win. Because the last 15 or so years, Nebraska's been a pushover in the conferences they've been in. The Big 12, not a Big 10. They haven't been bowl eligible in the Big. Well, they have. They haven't been a top end of the Big 10 team since they've been there. For that reason, I'm going to stay away, but I'm definitely watching that. That and the Arkansas game, 2 games that I'm paying close attention to for fan purposes, and so I can see, who deserves my money shout going forward.
So I will be out of the 3:30 USC Michigan game for this. I will have the hoodie in the car on deck, ready to celebrate. I might break out the hoodie I was talking about earlier. Life's too short to bet the under for the 7:30 Tennessee at Oklahoma game. Am I crazy for betting over 57 points? Tennessee's going to Norman. Tennessee's quarterbacks looked as good as anybody in the country. Both of these offenses have looked good.
True.
Oklahoma, I expected to have a better defense, but I just don't think they're there yet.
Yeah, Tennessee has been one of the surprises out of SEC. They might be the ones that actually challenge Georgia for that crown this year. Oklahoma, they're not as good. I think we can both agree to that. We can resoundingly say Oklahoma and Tennessee are not on the same page.
Hasn't looked that way yet. No, Tulane gave Oklahoma
a fair spread. Yeah, I think it's a fair line. Tennessee is a 7-point favorite. If you wanted to go all in on that one, I'll ride that one with you. But but Tennessee has been a very impressive team so far. Maybe I will hedge my bet a little bit and just take the money line on that one. But I don't see any reason why I should be scared of Tennessee by 7.
Yeah. I also think I'm going to take over 57. I am. I think it's going to be a shootout. That's nice. That's a hot one.
Yeah, we like them that way. All right. So, and you said under. We put that on there already, didn't we? Yeah. All right. Anything else? Those Buffs, we talked about them. Like those Buffs?
No,
against Baylor.
I'm staying away. I don't trust them.
Okay. What about ULM going to see Texas? 44-point dogs. Did they cover that?
Nah.
I'm out on that too. All right, man. So for Saturday, we've got USC by 5.5. We got the under 35 for the Iowa at Minnesota game. California plus 2.5 against Florida State. Miami 16.5 over University of South Florida. Over 57 for Tennessee and Oklahoma, and Tennessee by 7. And that is we got 5 picks. 5 picks for Saturday.
All right, leave them there. We're gonna have to trim them down a little bit, I think.
Feel good.
I got some NFL games, but before we do that,
we're
gonna have to hear a word from our sponsors. While you have this quick second, we appreciate you watching or listening wherever you're at. We are live at 6:35 on YouTube every Wednesday evening, or if you want to listen to us wherever you get your podcast, in the comfort of your own home, your car, or wherever you want to listen, Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever it is. We appreciate you rocking with us. Please like, subscribe, rate, review, tell a friend to tell a friend about us. Share us out there in the public. We keep growing, and it's because of you guys. We appreciate you. We'll be right back in just a few moments. All right, welcome back to PayDirt. We have got our Saturday picks in the book, and we are going to go through our NFL games, starting with Thursday. If you want to start with Thursday, I don't know. It's the New England Patriots at the New York Jets. The Jets are favored by 6. Anything you like in this Thursday game?
I think the Patriots have given us every rich reason this season so far to not doubt them. And the Jets have not given you enough reasons to figure that they can beat anybody by a touchdown. The total 38.5. I remember saying, I think it was last week, I told you I have questions about the Jets defense. They've given up 30 or near 30 quite often in the last 10 or so games.
Yeah.
The Patriots they're agnostic to offense, at least this iteration of them. They are. That 38.5, I think that is the under that I almost tempted to use the L. I want to hold off. I'm gonna hold off on using the word. But I think that's really, really tempting. It's a Thursday game. The Jets, this is their third game in the last, 11 days? Or is it 14 days? Something like that. Something crazy. They've got to be tired. And the Patriots, I don't care anything. Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback. Yeah, they won some games, but they can't.
Where did the Jets play their first game at?
Their first game was it was in San Francisco.
That's right. So they went all the way across the country too.
Mm-hmm.
And played 3 games in 11.
Enough. I'm taking the under 38.5. That's where I like from this game.
I agree with you, but I feel like if Father Time was going to do something special here, it would be on a Thursday night, on a primetime game. Man, I really like Garrett Wilson. I really like Breece Hall. I don't know.
It's about time Garrett Wilson does something for my fantasy team.
Yeah, can they stop the run? If the Jets can stop the run and get the ball back enough, I get why you would take the under. I'm just going to pass.
You're going to pass? Okay.
I'm going to pass.
That's fair.
I'm going to pass. I do have I have a game that I'm going to take, and this is one of those things that I keep thinking the probabilities here when good quarterbacks are going up against traditionally bad quarterbacks. When does the glass slipper no longer fit? You know what I mean? When does the carriage turn back into the pumpkin? CJ Stroud in Houston, Texas, going into Minnesota. And Minnesota is a +2. So they're home dogs. The only reason why, I mean, yes, Minnesota's defense, they're coaching them up. They're playing pretty good. But the only reason why I'm hesitant is that this started at a -2. It stayed at a -2. Houston Texans favorite, and Houston has 62% of the money right now. DraftKings bet on them. Makes me wonder what they know. Normally that line would move at least a half point or a point. If this goes Houston Texans -3, it can really move that money back to close to 50-50. They're not doing that, and I wonder why. But I think I'm overanalyzing it. I really like the way Houston's playing. I think the offense is starting to click now. I'm going to take the Texans and give those 2 points to the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold, I don't know. I don't trust it. I'm taking CJ Stroud over Sam Darnold here, basically.
So the Houston Texans start their season playing the Indianapolis Colts. They won. They didn't cover, but they won that game. What have we learned about the Colts offense so far? Anthony Richardson has a long way to go, right? A long way to go. And that offense, it had some issues. Then their second game, they played my Bears. The offense has a long way to go. But again, they barely won. It was both games were won by less than 7. Now they got week 3, the Vikings. Another offense with some questions on it. You just named Sam Darnold as the quarterback. He's been trying to go on a little revenge tour, but we know who Sam Darnold is. He can sling it, but he does do some questionable things sometimes. So
and Justin Jefferson's a little banged up now.
He is a little banged up. You're correct. He had something with his quad.
Yeah.
My question is, do we think that the odds makers are kind of seizing on Houston maybe not being as potent or as strong as the public may assume that they are?
I mean, that's what it would suggest by them not moving that line. Listen, I trust my eyes, man. CJ Stroud, and Stephon Diggs, he seems to be, from all accounts, a great teammate in the locker room right now. Nico Collins is
a dog.
Bad dude. Tank Dell hadn't even really got to show off at all yet, which is cool because he's coming back from an injury. Man, I like the Texans. I'm going to continue riding it. Sooner or later, I'm going to get this right. I'm taking the Texans.
All right. Texas -2.
They got
officially.
Listen, if they don't do it
they won all their games by at least 2.
Then it's a weird pattern, right?
All right. So, yeah. Texans didn't cover in either of their first 2 weeks. But like I said, they've won by at least 2. So we shall see what happens. I'm going to stay away from it. I'm going to go up. I'm going to go a game up. Green Bay and Tennessee. Green Bay sucks, but they did get their first win of the season by beating these Indianapolis Colts that I did just talk about. The Indianapolis Colts had some issues on offense. The Packers, they're starting Malik Willis once again this week, even though they're saying Jordan Love was at practice. I don't think
limited
that means
practice too early.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play unless he's.
I don't think he's going to play next week either. But that's
yeah. Unless he's the reincarnated, I don't think he's going to play. But I just want to put the point that's out right here. The Packers won that game with 14 total passes from Malik Willis. They won 16-10. 14 passes from Malik Willis. They had a total of 53 carries from all interested parties on that offense. Jacobs had 32 carries. What is this, 1997? A running back with 32 carries? Malik Willis had another 6 from him, and a bunch of the wide receivers chipped in with their own type of carries. 53 rushes against the Indianapolis Colts. That tells me that this is not a modern offense. That tells me that this team is trying to just kick the can down the road until Jordan Love shows up. And I think Tennessee's defense is primed to that challenge. The only question is, does Will Levis have another week of a confusing turnover? I think they can win in spite of Will Levis against Green Bay.
Boy, I kind of like Coach Callahan was not happy with him.
Yeah, as he should have. He said he's a grown man. He knows better. Wow. He said, hey, you're over 18 years old. Don't do that dumb stuff no more. Yeah, I agree.
This is another one of those, right?
Done so far.
The Packers continue to get 2 points, and 67% of them of bets placed are on the Packers.
Mm-hmm. Could go either way. I think there's question marks for both teams, but I think the Titans have a little bit more going in their favor, and they're the home team. So I would lean for the favorite to go ahead and cover that too.
All right. I get why you're doing that. And the other thing too, when we talk about the percentage of bets and who's on what, not only does that mean that most of the people are betting on Green Bay, but it could also mean that the wise guys and the Vegas guys are on Tennessee with the larger bets. So there's always to keep that in the back of your mind too. All right, I have a question for you because I'm very confused by this game. I think I know what I want to do. I think I know why, but I'm still hesitant to pull the trigger. Chargers come to Pittsburgh for the Pittsburgh Steelers home opener. Chargers are getting 1.5 points. That's the first game on the docket after the Thursday night game. So, over under 36. I mean, are we just going to ride that under for the Steelers the whole year? It's not a bad idea to just... Is that put a half a unit on it and just watch it run the whole year?
Here's the thing. The Steelers don't have an offense to speak of whatsoever.
They're on pace to score 9 touchdowns this year.
That sounds about right. I would say 8.5. Just 9 is a little fresh. So their offense might be worse than the DC Commanders offense. I know you heard about that stat. First team in history to win a game without scoring a touchdown while also giving up 3 touchdowns. That's the type of offense the DC Commanders have. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have a worse offense than that. So, do I think this under can continue to hit the 36? So we know ad nauseum what Pittsburgh has to offer on offense, and we know what LA has to offer. New coach. You fairly familiar with the coach for the Chargers.
I'm very familiar with that power eye set he's running.
Yes, J.K. Dobbins has been a revelation for that running offense they have deployed out there. 2 weeks in a row, 130 yards. I think that comes to a crashing halt against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think he goes into Pittsburgh and has that type of success. Pittsburgh had an issue with stopping a run last year. As of right now, I don't think that's a problem for them right now. Their defense looked locked and loaded and ready to go at all facets. Justin Herbert, he used to be a pretty elite quarterback, right? He hasn't shown that none yet this year.
There's another guy that's dinged up.
Yeah, it dinged up again. They've been pretty run focused this year, and Justin Herbert has become something like a forgotten man. I kind of see this can go another under 36. I'm there with it.
Wait, what do you got here? 20-10, 17-7.
I got 17-10.
Okay. All right, that was the one. I was questioning it. I'm leaning towards that. I think I may just let this run at half a unit. I've already hit on the full unit bet with them this year, so I think it just twice. So I think it might just be the half unit for the rest of the year to see how it plays out. Yeah, I'll tell you, there is another over under I like though.
Which one is it?
The Lions at the Cardinals, 51.5 over under. I'm on a couple of these high ones. I mean, look at what the Lions did last week and just could not get in the end zone. I think the dam was going to break. And I think the Arizona Cardinals have a fun offense to watch. And I think they're going to put up points as well. I think they're going to score 60 points in this one.
You like that, huh?
I do.
Shout out to Kirk Cousins. I can see it. It felt like Marvin Harrison Jr. had his coming out party. No did he? So, and I don't think there's any real reason to suggest that the Lions will turn into a some sort of a stop defense. I mean, their defense is pretty solid, but I mean, it's not to say they can't give up 27. I mean, because they can give up 27. So, that's interesting. The Lions are a little banged up as well, though. Sam Laporta hasn't checked into the offense at all so far this season. Amon-Ra St. Brown, even though he was a full participant in practice today, which I like to hear. I got a lot of St. Brown stock of my fantasy teams. But he did get hurt a couple of times last week. Jared Goff had 2 funny turnovers last week as well. This could be a get right game for them. Over 51, I like it.
Love getting you to bet the over.
All right. So,
what other games look tempting to you?
One of the most concerning teams so far this season, the Baltimore Ravens. They've got another concerning team, America's team, on their schedule this week. Baltimore goes to Dallas, and Baltimore's a 1-point favorite. If I had a nickel every time, I've said the Baltimore needs to run the ball in the clutch. Like, do the thing that they do best. Run the ball and hold the lead. For some reason, they just don't do it. I don't know why. But if it's any team out there that's going to test them, from beginning to end, it's going to be Dallas. Dallas got embarrassed flat out last week against the New Orleans Saints. They're going to be ready to play. So Baltimore won't have an excuse to blow any leads this week because they're going to be in a dogfight all game. And I do think that I think they're a better team. I think they finally wake up and start 2024 and get going. Baltimore by 1. I think that's a good pick.
He almost did it.
I'm not going to do it.
I saw it coming. Oh, I thought you were going to say it and I was going to have to bet on the Cowboys. Listen. Back against the wall, very, very few football teams would I rather bet on in an 0-2 situation that can't afford to go 0-3, but they're back against the wall, other than Baltimore. Very few cities back against the wall would I bet against less than Baltimore. So I think Baltimore goes out here. I think they win this one by a touchdown or more. I agree with you. I think both teams walk out of here 1-2. Dallas has had an issue stopping the run. I think that's going to help Baltimore get back to what they're best at and run that ball.
Mm-hmm.
I have Baltimore as well.
All right. It's a couple more games left. We got 2 Monday Night Football games this week. We've got, oh man, look at these primetime games. Kansas City goes to Atlanta for Sunday Night Football. We got Jacksonville and Buffalo. Woof. And then we got the DC Commanders and your Cincinnati Bengals. B, out of those 3, how you feeling?
But if I have to bet one of these 3 games, I probably bet the Chiefs minus 3.5.
Okay.
I probably bet the Bills minus 5 after that. And then I would be forced to play this Bengals game. The Bengals, listen, back against the wall. They've played good enough that they've been a play in each game away from winning both of those games. But the cold hard fact of the matter is I think if Kansas City just ran the ball, like you're saying Baltimore should have, up and down the field all day instead of throwing the ball around the yard a little bit more with the Bengals, I don't think that the Bengals are in the situation they're in at the end of that game anyway. The Bengals gave up 170 yards rushing the week before. They're giving up to the starting running back right now. They're giving up over 5 yards a carry. The Commanders have pretty good running back play. It worries me. I think the Bengals will get the win here, but I could see it being a 4-point win, 6-point win. So that 7.5, I'm not playing with that one.
I actually think it's the other one. The start of the primetime games is the one that's most concerning. Kansas City, they're down Isaiah Pacheco for a long time, close to 2 months. Atlanta Falcons, their defense is formidable. Patrick Mahomes hasn't played up to his standard yet, and Travis Kelce is done. He should be sitting next to his brother because they're both done. Yeah, done. He is a pop culture icon now. He's no longer a football player. I think they're ripe for the upset. Atlanta being a 3.5-point dog at home, that's fair. I think Kansas City's getting that Super Bowl defending champion that love. Atlanta, listen, I would stay away from that one. If not, I would definitely wouldn't put any money on Kansas City.
Man, I don't know. Atlanta hasn't looked good to me yet. They didn't look good against the Steelers. They got a gift wrapped win this past week. I'm not. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just me.
Yeah,
now,
you're right.
I don't have this on my playlist. Listen, I don't have the primetime games on my playlist at all. None of them. I gotta pick them for the homies, and I ain't got none of them on my playlist.
I haven't. I don't want anything to do with the Sunday night game, just because, like I said, I think Atlanta's got a puncher's chance to take that, win 2 in a row against a team they had no business beating. Kansas City, Buffalo and Jacksonville, disgusting game. I think Buffalo should have that one wrapped up, and Jacksonville has a confusing 0-3 start to this season. And the Commanders, they're not a good team. But the Bengals, they seem to play their best against Kansas City. And this isn't Kansas City, so I don't know what to expect from them. They might lay down and
I think they'll win, but
opponent.
I don't know. 7.5. I hate that hook. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's a bit rich for a team that's undefeated. I mean, for a team that is winless. So, yeah, all of these, I'm going to officially stay away from. However, like I said, if it was anything, I would probably take Atlanta 3.5.
Now, I do have one more game that I do like.
All right.
We got the Miami Dolphins in complete disarray.
Mm-hmm.
Tua has said he's not retiring. He's consulting. He's doing this. He's doing that. So they're gonna start what? Skyler
from Breaking Bad.
So they still don't have a third wide receiver there. Tyreek's had some issues.
Legal as well.
There's a lot of stuff going on, and then you got to pack it all up and fly as far as you can in the NFL, from Miami to Seattle, and you got to play in Seattle. Seattle's a 4.5-point favorite. I think they win this by a touchdown or more. That's my go at it.
Ooh, a touchdown, huh? Okay.
Or more.
All right. Let's put it on there. All right. Officially, I don't have anything to do with that game. I would take the Raiders to start the little winning streak. I think they can beat the Panthers. The Panthers are, as you use the word, disarray. The Red Rifle's
Red
back.
Rifle, baby.
He's back. Every time you think he's done, he comes right back. I think that's his modus operandus now. The former Bengals starting quarterback. He just goes finds the young quarterback to back up, and you say, "Yeah, I'm gonna just wait. And then my time will show up."
Do you know who the Carolina Panthers have in Week 4?
I do not. Who do they play in Week 4?
Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh,
a revenge game.
Yeah, revenge game. I like it. You got Macaulay Culkin versus the Red Rifle. Let's get it going. Now you're going to bet that game, right? You are going to bet that game.
I should get it in now while it's just the Panthers getting 7 before that hook comes out.
That's a smart move. So if anything else, last one for me, I'm taking the Raiders to win by 7. The Panthers hasn't come close to competing with anybody yet, and I don't think it changes. I don't think Bryce Young is the end all to their issues.
All right, so let's look at this bet slip. How many do we have on here? Well, we got to get down to our pick 6.
All right, so we have Raiders by 5. That's 1. Seahawks by 4.5. 2. Baltimore Ravens by 1. 3. Actually, we got about 14. Look like it, yeah, 11. Let's take 11. So we got 11 picks. So let's start at the beginning.
Well, let's
get this down to 6.
Let's do this. Let's start with the over-unders that are a little too high or a little too low. Iowa's questionable. They've scored 40 points twice this year already. Why don't we get rid of that Iowa under? Click that box. And then why don't we get rid of the there was did you put the 57.5 over under on there? Over under 57. Let's get rid of that. That's risky business. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the over under 51.5 on the Lions, Arizona. Do you want to leave that right now, or do you want to?
Yeah, let's leave that right now.
Okay, we'll leave that right now. Now let's start looking. So we got rid of some risky business that we were already knew was a little bit risky. All
right. So let's start with the smallest line that we have, and that's Baltimore Ravens, a 1-point favorite. Anything telling you Dallas can win this game? Compared to everything else we got, does this seem more of a sure thing?
I don't know, man. I'm up in the air about that one.
Okay. We'll leave that one right now. So let's go to the next one.
I think it wins.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. We got 2-point faves on the ticket. Houston, Texas by 2, and the Tennessee Titans by 2. I'll tell you right now, if we got to pull one off, it'll be Titans over Green Bay.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, because what if Will Levis is?
Yeah, what if he does it twice?
Oh man.
Yeah, let's not play that game. All right, so now we got 9 picks left. 9 picks. Look at that. Oof, look at those odds. Wow. All right, so let's get down to. We got 3 more to get rid of. We got USC 5.5 point faves over Michigan.
Yeah, I think that's gonna stay.
I think so too. Yeah. California 2.5 point dog to Florida State. At some point, I crack jokes, but at some point, Florida State's going to win a game, right? A game. Do you think it'd be this week?
I don't think it is. I don't.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I don't. I think out of the college games that you got right there, I think Tennessee is the riskiest one.
Okay. We're all about mitigating risk, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. All right. 2 more picks to get down. Ooh, look at that, man. It fell down far. All right. So we're pretty much NFL heavy now. So we only got 3 college picks left. We got Miami by 16.5, California 2.5, and USC 5.5.
But I like where we're at with those college picks.
Yeah, I do too. I like them. I think those are.
So we probably got 2 to get rid of here.
Yeah.
All right, so do we think the over-under in the Jets game, Patriots? Do we see a hero game from Old Man River? Chargers-Steelers game, over-under 36.
If I had to take one of those unders off, it would probably be the Pittsburgh Steelers game. Just for the simple fact that I know the quarterback from the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to have a good game at one point. Not to say he's had bad games up to this point, but the offense has been shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, you're
Not
right.
because they can't play. Yes, but it's because they're undisciplined. Mike Tomlin's going to get that ship right at some point, and they're going to play mistake-free football. And they might be able to score 23 points. So if it's between the 2, the under 36, I would take that off.
Yeah.
All right. It's down to 7. Oof. Odds are now 9,226. It was, when we had it at 9 picks, it was 32,000. Oof. Oh, wow.
There's a reason why.
Yeah. All right, so we got one more to get out of here. One more. We got to stick with the NFL games. You got the under, Patriots at the Jets, Texas cover, the over 51.5 for Detroit Cardinals. We both feel strongly about the Baltimore Ravens winning straight up. That's a pick 'em game, to be honest. So it's pretty much right here. Seattle, 4.5 point faves, and the Raiders, 5 point faves. How you feel, B?
Well, I feel like the Panthers may have just upgraded quarterback, and the Dolphins did not.
That's true. That is a. Well, I don't want to say statement of fact, but I don't think there's anything you can argue with to say that that's wrong. It remains to be seen. Just put it like that. It remains to be seen if Bryce is not better than Andy Dalton. We shall find out soon enough, though.
Man, that's a coin toss. I like the Seahawks really better. I think you like the Raiders better.
All right. So we can't decide on that. How about, can I convince you to come off of the over for Detroit and Arizona?
Yeah, I can come off that over.
Okay. All right. Now we got down to 6.
All right.
Total odds 4,785 for a 6-pick parlay, combining Saturday and Sunday.
So we have USC minus 5.5.
Uh-huh.
We got Cal plus 2.5.
Yep.
Then we've got Miami minus 16.5.
That is correct.
And then in the NFL, we've got the under 38.5 on the Jets game.
Mm-hmm.
Jets Pats. We have Texans minus 2.
Yep.
Wait. 1, 2, 3. Is that? Are you sure we don't have 7? Texans minus 2. Ravens minus 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's actually 8. We got to get rid of 2 more, B.
What is going on here? Why is it giving us? Oh, it's.
You can't parlay these.
Okay.
All right.
So hold on, we got the Ravens minus 1.
Seahawks plus 4.5.
Let's get rid of that Texans game.
All right. Houston Texans out.
All right, so you pick one to get rid of.
All right, I'll get rid of 1. So, sorry, B.
It's all right.
Seattle by 4.5.
Yep.
You know what? No. I'm not enough thinking about it. This is going to hurt. The under 38.5 for the Patriots Jets. I'll kick it to the curb. All right.
So we got the Raiders minus 5. And we've got Seahawks minus 4.5.
Yes.
So that gives us USC minus 5.5, Cal plus 2.5, Miami minus 6.5 in college. In the pros, we go Ravens minus 1, Raiders minus 5, Seahawks minus 4.5. That makes me feel great because we did not have an under. Yes.
I
want call it a win.
So bad. Oh my goodness. I want that money.
You bet that on your own time.
I will. I'm going to put that right back on a different slip.
All right.
I definitely will.
All right. And hey, if you like some of the stuff we were taking off there at the end, go bet it. You know what I mean? Make your decisions. Look at your things. I highly suggest look at the weather going into it, especially on those over-unders. So take a look at those things. See what you like out there. Pay any closing thoughts?
The Packers are not going to win. They deserve to be in the basement with 1,000 bottles of baby oil and all the bad things that happen down there.
Okay.
They're not a very good team. I'm just calling it. Tell you how I see it.
All right, we'll get those bets in. We hope all of them are fruitful. And check us out next Wednesday live at 6:35 on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. You can always check us out. Apple, Spotify, Google, any of those places. Please give us that thumbs up and catch us next week when we hit PayDirt.
Let's do it.